Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. Quick video today. Wanted to go over, mindset while you're training. You know, one of the things that we often do is when we're in class, we get pretty competitive with each other. And if you train with a lot of people that are outside of your school, or let's say you compete a lot, one of the things that we obviously want to do when we're training with people outside of our school, at a drop-in or at a tournament, is we want to do well. We want to represent our school well. We want to win. We want to, you don't want to be the guy that came in from ABC school and you got tooled by everyone, right? In reality, it doesn't matter. What do you care if people don't think you're that good? It really doesn't matter what other people think, because like I've mentioned so many other times, we're all on our individual journeys, and everybody's journey is different, so that one blue belt is different from another blue belt, one black belt. There's variation even among black belts. There are black belts that are black belts, and then there are black belts like the elite black belts, where the difference in ability is just so great. But if you're a black belt and you just get worked over by another black belt, you can't really think about it. You can't dwell on it, because if you dwell on it, then you're just gonna be breaking yourself down mentally. There's really no reason to do it. So, but by the time you're a black belt, you've been training so long, in the end, you really probably won't care. You'll think to yourself, man, I suck, but oh well, I'm just gonna keep training anyway. But if you're a lower belt, white belt, blue belt, and even sometimes purple belt, you get caught into the mindset that you always have to win. And even with people in your own school, people are competitive within their schools. That happened a lot back in the old days. When I say old days, meaning maybe pre-2000. And the thing is, you always wanted to impress your professor. So what you would do is, especially if your professor's looking, you're gonna really work over your training partners, or fight like heck so that you don't get worked over by your training partner. The problem with that is that's a pretty destructive mindset in the long run for your journey. And the reason why it's a destructive mindset is because in an academy, you need to trust your teammates. Now, of course, I'll fully acknowledge that there are some academies that are really set up with an adversarial mindset, meaning everybody in the school is your competitor. Now, while you're not going to outwardly target them, you're competitive with all of them. And it's your goal to be the best in the school, and to be thought of as the best blue belt, the best white belt, the best purple belt in the school, or even the best black belt. With that type of mentality, it's going to be competitive. Every day is going to be a dogfight on the mats. That's how it was way back when in Hawaii when we trained. A close friend of mine, Michael Onzuka, who's one of the original Helson Gracie black belts, one of the ones from Hawaii, and he would talk about how it was in class, how every day you get these butterflies, because that there's gonna be some sort of situation where you're gonna be competing really hard against someone, and it's gonna be as close to a fight as you can get without it really coming to blows. The difference that we have in our school is, Dave and I, having both come from those types of situations, we've purposely, and this is really at Dave's guidance, really, I didn't think of it, it was him really, in that we have to trust our training partners. We don't want to be in an environment where we're competing with each other. Your training partners have to be people that are on your side. Granted, when you're engaged in training, of course you want to beat your partner. You don't want to lose to them. But there are going to be certain times when you don't care if you lose to your partner, because winning in that particular moment is not really what you're going after. You're actually going after growth in your game, or maybe even you're trying to help your teammate to grow in his game or her game. What you want to do is you want to think to yourself, really have two mindsets. You have the mindset for in your studio, the mindset for outside of your studio. In your studio, you are, I would say, not competitive, but it could go up as semi-competitive. Meaning, let's say I'm a blue belt and I'm pretty good. I'm not the best, but I'm not the worst. But there's always a blue belt who I cannot do something to. He gets mounted on me and I just cannot get him off of the mount. There's two ways to look at it. Number one is you will just think and think and think and think, how do I beat this guy's mount? I need to beat his mount. And just keep trying. Every time you train him, he gets mount and you get stuck, and then maybe hopefully you'll figure it out. Or you'll ask somebody, hey, so-and-so's mount, how can I work out of his mount? That's one way. The other way is you simply ask him and you say, let's say his name is Bill. Hey Bill, I cannot get out of your mount. Can you tell me what I'm doing wrong? What should have happened is that Bill, if he's my friend and my training partner, he would have noticed long ago that he can always keep me in mount. At which point he would have said, hey Ryan, look, you're not getting out of my mount because you're not doing this. Your hand needs to be here or your weight needs to be there. And if you do that, you'll be able to get out of my mount. Or, that's the first way. The second way is I get stuck. After a month of being stuck, I finally break down and I ask him. And then he helps me. He says, okay, well, the reason why is because every time you're pushing here, my weight is here. So it doesn't work when you push there. Oh, okay, I got it, right? So either way, Bill and I are on the same page with regard to my training. I'm trying to get better, and he's going to help me to get better. So in that way, you're teammates. But in one situation, Bill is more proactive than the other. But at the same time, Bill's not always trying to kill me. He's just, it just is that way. On the other hand, if we were in a competitive school, then Bill wouldn't help me. I would ask him after finally maybe a month or so. He's not going to offer me anything. I ask him something after a month and I say, hey Bill, you know what? I can't seem to get out of your mount. What's going on? Bill's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I just hold it. I don't know. I mean, I just sit on you and I put my weight on you and you can't get out. I don't know what you're doing wrong. Or they say, I don't know how to teach. You need to ask somebody else. That's an excuse where if you're asking somebody for their help or why they're beating you and they're giving you that excuse, they're not on your team. They're not on your team. They don't want to help you. So you need to, if you're in that type of school, then you just have to realize, that's the type of school I'm in. Nobody's going to help me, or at least Bill's not going to help me. So you need to find somebody else who will help you. The problem with that is that you'll have these little individual cliques within a school, people who kind of, mini teams within the team. And that's kind of counterproductive. People get better at each other's expense when with regard to the way Professor Dave likes to run his classes, everybody gets better with the help of each other. Now, what's in it for Bill if Bill teaches me how to get out of his mount? I'll tell you what's in it for Bill. Is, okay, he just gave his secret up to me. Now he's going to have to develop his game to take his game to the next level. So now his thought process is, okay, I just showed Ryan my secret to holding mount. So now I have to figure out how to beat that again, all over again. So now Bill will be in a position where he now has to improve his mount. On the other hand, if all he did was beat me, because I could never get out of his mount, what's his incentive to improve his mount? He has none. Because I can't get out anyway. When you're training, don't always look to win. Look to figure things out instead. That has to be your goal and your job when training. Figure out what's wrong and fix it. If you can't find anything what's wrong, then go to somebody who's better than you who can exploit something that's wrong. That way everybody improves. And that way it's a much nicer environment to be in. Everybody's there to help everybody. There's no animosity that builds up. There's no real competitiveness between members in the same school. And that's the way we like it. It may not be the way you like it, but that's just the way we like it. Every school is run differently. So just make it in the way that's the most comfortable for you. But anyway, that's all I got to say. Meant it for it to be short, but it ended up being pretty long. But hopefully it was helpful to you. We'll talk to you soon.